Am I live yet? Got a little green box. Let's. No, I don't want that. Let's see. Hey, I'm live. Nobody's here. Nobody's here, but I'm live. Look at the camera. Hey, camera. How are you doing? I'm good. Nice to see you. Glad you could make it. Well, let's just see if anybody makes their way in here, and if not, I will go to sleep. One person is here. Who is here? Who is here? Who is it? Valiant. Good to see you, JTR. What's up? Mr. Steve? Hello to you, good sir. What's going on, guys? I am tired today. Rajan, how you doing? Very tired today, but I figured I'd jump in here since I was too tired to actually make a video. I figured I'd jump in here and talk to you guys for a while. So we're open to discuss whatever it is you want to discuss. I'm at your service, as it were. That is how I like to roll. Mr. Kaplan, hello. Good to see you. I wish that I could put this thing in dark mode. So not dark. Blinding me. Omar, how you doing? It's good to see everybody. As people trickle in. It's always nice. What do you guys feel like talking about? Are you interested in the new Detroit Become Human game? I am interested in that game. I haven't. I saw an early trailer. I haven't seen much since then, but it looked really interesting. I've kind of been wanting to play more on PC than Xbox or PlayStation recently, so I don't know. But Tyler, how you doing? Time to make a can you trust painfully honest tech? Yeah. Actually, I want the people who I want other people to make that video. I don't want to make that video on my own, because I'll just tell you yes, and you couldn't believe me or not. uh, what's up, Frit? Aramis Tech, good evening to you. What's up, Jesus? Mr. Maxman, Don Adwick, good to see everyone. For those who are just strolling in, there's no discussion point that can't be covered tonight. We have no topic, is what I'm trying to say. I'm tired. I figure I'd jump in here for an hour or so, answer questions, talk to folks. The red hydrogen phone looks like it could be the coolest thing ever, or not. Let's say that. I mean, they're promising a lot. So if they come up with it, and it's holographic and all that other stuff, and it actually like fits into a whole camera system, and it could be crazy. But at $1,200 and I think $1,400 or $1,600, that's probably a no-go for the wide majority of people, obviously. So, Aramis Tech, what do you guys think of the Amazon Echo recording a call and sending it to one of the person's contacts without even letting them know it was doing so? How would it do that? That's crazy. Jason Jones, thank you, man. I will continue to keep up the work, because the work is what keeps me young. Jay Boogie, thanks, man. Everything's going good. I was gonna try and stream some video game tonight. Well, I was on Twitch, but I didn't like broadcast it. I was on Twitch playing some PUBG, and I played like 4 games straight where I tried to drop into a place where I thought I could like leisurely find my stuff and all that, and got killed within the first 2 minutes of every single game. So I decided to not do that anymore. Mr. Maxman, how about the game app that steals money from users? I haven't heard about that. What's that all about? I am still using my Pixel 2 Thomas Roberts. It's right here. Still using it. I don't want the nighttime screen to come on so early, but I just haven't changed it yet. The Note 8 was my favorite phone of last year, but as I used it for a couple of more months into 2018, there were certain things about the way the security worked, especially because of the way that my email for my work has to be protected, that made it so I couldn't do anything but use the fingerprint scanner or a password, and I could not get the fingerprint scanner to work effectively, reliably, no matter what I tried. So I kind of gave up on it. I'm hoping that the Note 9 is something better. The S7, S7 Plus, or S9, S9 Plus were definitely better in the fingerprint department. So I look forward to what the Note 9 is going to be all about. Let's see. Mark, I'm doing well. Yeah, it's good to see you, man. Manipulate the rankings to make... Man, video game companies are getting shadier and shadier all the time. Why not the S9 Plus? Well, I had the S9 Plus, and it's just something about Samsung phones. After a while, they just start to kind of annoy me. And yeah, they kind of start to annoy me. So I got this guy for like a monthly deal of like 22. It's my wife trying to call me. She's just upstairs. I don't know what she's trying to call. Um, it was a monthly deal of like $22 a month for this Pixel 2 XL 64 gigs. So hold on a second. My wife is not pissed at me because I hung up on her. Here, I would just tell her streaming. Sorry. There we go. See how that works. Sorry. Had to get favorite phone at the moment. Still this Pixel 2 XL. I mean, the iPhone 10 I still like a great deal, but the Pixel 2 XL has been working really well for me over the past month or so, I guess, since I've had it. So I'm still really enjoying it. There are definitely problems with it, as I've discussed in other venues, but those problems aren't like make it or break it kind of problems. Joshua, I am on my I'm beginning the early stages of my Make America Honest Again campaign. So I just randomly posted on the president, like a comment on one of the president's tweets today, and somebody who like follows me on Twitter like said, "Well, I didn't listen to you about the HomePod, and I'm not listening to you about my president." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, Jesus, that was a joke that we came up with a little while ago. That I was I was gonna start this Make America Honest Again campaign. As a little play on our current situation, I guess. My wife is carrying a S7 Edge in gold with a pink commuter case on it, and she will not change. She won't let me buy her a new phone. So her loss, I guess. Do I think Google should focus on a stronger ecosystem? I have to admit that. So right now I have two Home Minis and the Home Max, and that's turning into an ecosystem in a way that I didn't intend it to, or didn't think it would be. The way that they work together is really pretty cool. So I think Google is building their own infrastructure, their own ecosystem, and it's all going to be about controlling, home based control of things. I talk to Google Assistant all the time. I used to not talk to anybody's assistant, but I do now. Um, Gerardo, I don't. I'm thinking I'm going to keep the Pixel. I may be in a position where I can't. I don't want to have two phones that are kind of expensive. So I have to decide if I'm going to sell one or the other. Um, and I mean, I can definitely get more for the iPhone, but I haven't decided yet. Uh, London Bridge, it is good to see you. Canadian Bicycle. Um, so you got a 10-inch iPad, 1400. Yeah, the 10.5-inch iPad is really a good iPad. Most definitely, most definitely. It's expensive, yes, but you know that's how they get you. Was Yeah, we were just talking about this. I'm carrying the Pixel 2, this Pixel Google Live case thing on it. Um, and that's what I've been carrying for about the last month, and I've been enjoying it. Do I think HTC should really be trying to mount a comeback or call it quits? Um, I don't know. I haven't done a ton of looking at the U12, but it's cool with like the translucent back and stuff like that. I've heard they're really good phones. The only problem is like HTC doesn't have any presence in the carrier stores anymore. They used to. I don't know what happened, but since they started the U series, I haven't seen any of those phones in any carrier store. And if they're gonna mount a comeback, it has to be through being on the shelves, because the average person's not going to go to the internet and order a phone for full price. I can't choose between the Pixel or the iPhone 10 either, which is why I currently have both. London Bridge. What do you think of Apple knowing about the Bengate? I mean, yeah, I I think they probably had a good idea that it was a possibility. I think, especially for the 6, it was kind of a crappy design. Um, yeah, so I wouldn't be all that surprised by it. Yeah, Andrew, I'm in, I guess, southeastern Iowa City. So that's where I am at the moment. Um, Mark, I think you're right. HTC is underrated for sure. But they don't seem to be able to get themselves going again. When they had the M series, like Boom Sound and all that stuff, they were great phones. Like some of the best built phones at the time. Um, and so yeah, I agree that was it's curious to me why they've fallen off so precipitously. Yeah, the HTC One was a really good phone. I mean, the HTC One M, all of them were good. So, should Apple release a new iPod again? Yes, they should. They should. It should be called the iPod Classic, and it should look just like the iPod Classic, and it should have an upgraded DAC in it. And yeah, they should do all those things because all those things would be awesome. I would love to have another one. Um, okay, so Mr. Maxman, you're asking if the latest. Are you talking about the Vivo phone that has like will that has the fingerprint under the screen, or are you talking about one that's coming out soon? Canadian bicycle, no problem, man. No problem. Thanks for being here. Apple or Android? Oh, James Martinez, you're trying to catch me. Uh, Apple is what I've typically gone back to. I've enjoyed Android, but I haven't stayed for the long haul usually. But the Pixel phone is kind of starting to convince me. Do I think the Pixel will ever? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know what kind of deal they have with Verizon to uh, to keep the Pixel exclusively in the Verizon store. So I'm not sure. It should. I mean, the iPhone was an AT&T exclusive for many years before they released it everywhere. So I'm hoping that Google becomes more outgoing with how they market that phone. Should Apple call it quits with AI? Um, I don't think so, but I think that they better see the writing on the wall and recognize that they are way behind in the voice assistant AI department. And if Google's allowed to run out to this lead and voice assistant stuff doesn't, in fact, become the way we interact with our devices in the future, then Apple's going to be screwed. And it will only be their fault. So, Mr. Maxman, I don't know. I honestly, like, I saw a couple of videos about that Vivo phone. I don't know enough about it, so I don't know. Company like that competing with the iPhone is tough. Um, Simply your device. Hello. You missed me talking about phones. Uh, See, Jason Jones, I agree. Like, although I'm serious, I want the iPod, the full fat iPod Classic, 256 gigabytes with one, like a DAC like what they put in the LG V30. I think Apple would, because there are a lot of companies out there. Well, not a lot, but there are companies out there filling the space that Apple left open when they got rid of the iPod. And I don't really count iPod touches as iPods. Um, so I think I think if they really came out and said we're going to make a premium device, I don't care if it's like $400 or $500 if it has all the right stuff in it. I would love to see another iPod come out. CJ Photography. I have not seen a ton about the Pixel Wear device. I've only heard that it may be on the horizon, but I don't always have time to keep up with all the news. So, you know, I'll be checking into it as it comes closer, though. Christian, how you doing? Good to see you. Bradrick, I don't know. I mean, Apple's done the 120 hertz screen on the iPads. So when will it come to a phone? I don't know. That might be about scale. That might be about doing it at that scale. I'm not sure. But yeah, they've already gone that direction with the newer iPad Pros. So they could theoretically do it. Samsung, I have no idea. Samsung's using their own parts, and Apple's using Samsung parts, at least in this generation. So we're just we're just gonna have to see what goes on. Yeah, Christophet, is that Christophet or Christophe? The S9 is a good phone. Uh, I kind of felt the opposite of you. Like there were some things about the S9 that just didn't seem quite right to me that were there on the iPhone 10. But you know, everybody does different stuff. There's something to be said for a dedicated music player. Yes, there is. I I sold. I still have like three old, super old iPods that don't work, um, and they're kind of not even worth putting together. But I had an iPod Classic, the 5.5 version, and I sold that, and I shouldn't have, but I can always get another one, I guess. Eric Risco, what's the problem with being old? There's, only young people say things negative about old people. And you know what? Old people know more than you. So, London Bridge, I like where Android and Google with the Pixel are going as well. Um, I think if they continue to focus on the voice assistant and sort of integrating devices, then they might they might just uh, they might just have a chance at least pulling closer to even. But Apple has their loyal customers. Sony does make a decent portable music player. They also make a portable music player that costs like $1,200, and that is a crazy amount of money. So everybody is going to be old. One of two things will happen in your life. You'll either get old or you'll die before you get old. Okay? But age is just a concept, and also aches and pains in places that didn't used to have aches and pains. Um, but, that's how you know you're alive when you're old. Everything hurts. I'm not even that old. I don't know. I'm sure if you're like 18 years old, I'm probably old, but in everybody has this kind of like this sort of embedded image of themselves at a certain age, and I still see myself in my mind's eye at say like 27 or 28. Um and there's nothing that's going to convince me otherwise. so that's how old I am. 27 or 28 forever. Forever. Will the notch evolve or become a fad? Well, I've said this before. Apple has told developers that they need to get on the notch bandwagon. And if they don't design with the notch in mind, then they might not get their apps approved for the Apple Store. That says to me that the app is at least around for the next couple of years, if not longer. Um, I think the notch will get smaller. I think that eventually the notch will go away, but it's here for the moment because of what people want to do with the screens and what they're capable of doing with the technology. Um, so that's that. Carlos, why am I doing what? Christian, 40 did feel old. 46 feels a little bit older, but but 40 is like when you turn 40, you're kind of like, oh shit, that sucks. The notch is a turnoff. Are you trying to make some kind of joke? What are you trying to say there? Yeah, man, if I could be a Marvel superhero, that would be something. Um, I've been a Marvel fan for uh, many many years. Well, I appreciate it, Max man. I appreciate it. Let me scroll back up here and see. Are you into game systems, Jason? Yes, I have a PlayStation 4. I have a Xbox One X and an Xbox One S in another room. Uh, I've been playing on PC as much as I have time to play these days, which isn't very much. I've been playing stuff on PC, but that doesn't mean like somebody asked about that Detroit Become Human game, and I am really interested in checking that out. So maybe that'll get me back. It is a PS4 exclusive, right? Do you like Coke, as in Coca-Cola? Uh, if it's Coca-Cola, then yeah, it's fine. I usually drink diet these days to keep my girlish figure. But yeah. So yeah, Essential Phone. Everybody seems really surprised that the Essential Phone is dead. It doesn't surprise me at all. Um, A didn't get great reviews, at least camera wise. Lots of people really liked it. They even tried to pay for some reviews after the fact to try and get people to say nice things about it. Um, but it didn't take off, and then they had to cut the price. It was never going to sell at $700, so then they had to cut the price, and then the their like head honcho dude got caught up in the Me Too sexual nastiness, and so he was, and that would that would probably make investors not so bullish on backing the Essential Phone again. And I don't think they made enough money to be able to self finance another version of the phone. So they're dead. And they might, Essential Phone might come back again. I mean, the Razor phone was the Bluebird, or the Next Bit Robin is what it was. It was a baby blue phone that, yeah, it was one of the first phones that had cloud storage built in as part of the deal. So, Omar, what budget should you have to create a YouTube studio? Hmm. I mean, I think I would say first that getting started is more important than getting equipment. So if you have a good smartphone and you can go to the hardware store and buy some 5600K LED lights that you can stick in your face, then that's a good place to start. The more you do it, the more you learn, the more you start to develop, and it kind of takes care of itself over time. Like, I wasn't really much of a photographer before I started doing YouTube. Um, I take phones with my smartphone. I had a camera that I take pictures with, but photography was not a big deal to me. Um, but I had to learn it to do YouTube. So now I'm settled into. I use a Panasonic G7 to uh, to do live stuff because the SD card reader doesn't work anymore, and I have a Canon. This is the T6i. This is my teleprompter. Hello, hello. Um, and that's what I use to record the videos. So for your financial planning business, yeah, I think you have to ask yourself, like, okay, what do I want to achieve? Do you want to make professional looking videos? Then yes, you're probably gonna have to spend some money. Do you have a place where you feel like you're gonna set up a permanent set that you can use? Like, this is both my desk and my YouTube set, and I kind of set it up this way because it makes it really easy for me to be able to sit down and record or edit or do whatever. So I think if you figure out like what the bare minimum is for you to be able to get started and make the kind of videos that you want to make, then yeah, I think you could probably spend anywhere from, if you want to go 4K, that's expensive, but you could get a Canon T6i for um, probably 150, or not 150, but like I think I got mine for $650. So you could get that, and then what are you going to edit on, all that kind of stuff. But soup to nuts to get started, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 will get you something pretty professional looking. But the most important factor in all of those pieces of gear is actually the operator. Learning how to use the stuff is what's going to is what's going to really help you make quality videos, because it's 9 times out of 10 the quality of the equipment is secondary to the ability of the operator. So, Jose, I've done a couple of laptop reviews. I got an Alienware uh, R417 last year that I reviewed, but man, laptops are freaking expensive. So so I'm just trying to part of what I'm doing these days is spending less money on stuff and creating content around the things that I really enjoy talking about. And so we got Viper in the house. Things are gonna get crazy now. For me, what the best Android phone out right now is probably the Pixel 2 XL. Um, it's it's the Android phone that doesn't try too hard to be like a Swiss Army knife of everything. So that's what I like about the Pixel. Omar, no problem. Thanks for asking the question, man. Uh, it's disappointing that you produce country music, but it's not even really country music. Like, what is country music these days is one of the most awful forms of noise that I've ever heard. Uh, my band back in the old days did what was called alternative country. Now I think it's called Americana. Before that, it was called roots rock. Before that, it was called country rock. So you see, there's just all of these things that classify. But to me, it's just what I do. I grew up in West Virginia. I grew up in a punk rock, indie rock scene. Um, so there was a lot of different kinds of music that folded into what I ended up making myself. I mean, the Beatles were my favorite band, and you know they used to cover people like Buck Owens and Carl Perkins and people like that. So it's all just sort of the same thing with different spices at the forefront. If that makes any sense. Can you trust YouTube? Man, YouTube is fucking up too quickly for me to be able to catch up with with how bad they're screwing things up. There's not enough hours in the day um, to figure out what the heck YouTube is trying to do these days. So I'm gonna work on that video, um, and it probably won't be for at least a week or so, but you know. So what if Apple makes an iPod Touch X based on the iPhone 10 design? Um, I don't know. There's something about that little chunky like rectangle of the classic iPod that a little bit thinner would be fine with me, but still like the scroll wheel and all that stuff. That I like that stuff. So I haven't used CarPlay or Android Auto because none of my cars will support it. So, and I got a 2018 Jeep Cherokee, but it's got like the crap bass radio in it that I need to upgrade. But I wasn't gonna pay. Basically, I'm waiting to until there are enough Jeep Cherokees of 2018 Jeep Cherokees in the junkyard that I can get one of the upgraded radios, and then I'll install it in my car. So yeah, the 160 gigabyte classic was awesome. They are giving me a lot of places to start, Viper. Um, Mr. Mobile should be next. Um, Mr. Mobile's on my list of people to feature on the Can You Trust series. I don't want to give anything away. I don't like to talk talk about it before it's done, because then people might know what I'm gonna say. Christian, channel's come a long way. Latest content is awesome. Anyone can buy and review phones. What you do, not anyone can. Oh, thank you, Christian. I appreciate it, man. Um, the, what I'm doing right now, which includes reviewing stuff, but also, more of, I guess, like editorial or commentary based stuff. Like, it keeps it really interesting to me. Honestly, like, yeah, just reviewing things one after the other, you kind of lose your baseline of like what is good, what is bad. um, and it just feels like you're just talking at a certain point. So yeah, I appreciate that though, Christian, very much. Um, 1 terabyte Google Pixel 2. Why would you want that? You've got cloud storage. What, the Mr. Mobile one seems like it'll be spicy. I mean, Mr. Mobile, like he's solid. Hey Paula, how you? Good to see ya. How do I feel about creepy Google Assistant? I don't know. I wish Google Assistant had a name, or you could give it a name. Good to know you're still digging the iPhone 10, Paul. Would it benefit Apple to open up iOS for users to customize? No, I don't think it would. It's two different philosophies. Android is about the ability to customize and sort of make the phone do what you want it to do the way you want it to be done. iOS, that was built with an entire system thought process behind how it should work and how people should interact with it. And so if you start to let that go, then I think the whole thing will just get a little weird. Cool Blind Tech team, painfullyhonesttech.tech is my website, but I don't have anything like sufficiently built out on that yet. I want to get that going. I mean, I do have. If you look in the description of this, like I was able to get a merch store going through Spreadshirt. I'm selling Painfully Honest Tech T-shirts. Just my wife. I just ordered one for my wife in sort of a cute female design, and looks pretty great. And I've got one myself. So, but yeah, if you're looking for a T-shirt, pretty decent T-shirts for a pretty decent price. But I haven't got the website up and running yet, just because I can put together a website. I have put together the website, but doing videos like at least like almost 6 days a week usually is keeping me from being able to really concentrate on anything else. Do you think the BlackBerry phone will be? I don't know anything about that new BlackBerry phone. If it's like the Key One, then yeah, there's definitely a space for that. Mid-range phone with a keyboard. People like that stuff. I kind of wanted to get one, but you can't get every phone that you want unless people are going to give it to you. So, Palm Pre's were pretty sweet, man. I had the old style Palm Pilot. The one that I had was totally clear plastic, so you could see everything inside. I thought it was a super badass with that thing. Thomas, thank you. I might not be too far behind you, honestly. I had to go out and I walked my dogs for like an hour or so this evening, and it was like 85 degrees, and yeah, I got 3 dogs. Walking 3 dogs at a time is not as easy as you might think. Um, Christian, I think one of the reasons that iOS 11 was kind of buggy had to do with the fact that they had to make it work on the old design with the home button. Plus, they were trying to make a whole new um, way to interact with the phone in the iPhone 10, and trying to split between those two things, like, I just think it's impossible um, not to have some difficulties. iOS 12, I have a feeling, is going to be much, much more stable. Um, I did watch the Battlefield 4 or 5 trailer, but I haven't really got to sit down and like super pay attention to it. I'm a big time Battlefield fan, so I'm looking forward to that, and it looks like it could be pretty cool. I gotta watch some level cap videos, and uh, other folks who stream Battlefield to get their opinions too. Pixel 3 wish list. Um, rock solid hardware. No crappy LG LED screens. I think if Google ups the Pixel game to match the quality of a Samsung or a iPhone, then then they have a chance, because with what Android P can do, is it's really closing the gap. I think that some of the gesture-based stuff and some of the other stuff in Android P uh, is closing the gap with iOS, and Samsung keeps doubling down on stuff that nobody wants. So if Google keeps working, then then and they really step up their game and bring quality all across the board, then they have a chance. But I tell you what, today was a day where I was so fucking pissed off that I didn't have a headphone jack. I went out to walk the dogs with Bluetooth headphones on, and it said the things had 90% charge, and I get friggin' 10 minutes down the road and they die. I I'm this close to a wireless headphone rant video. Like, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid to choose to use something that is so much more unreliable than the thing it replaces. But I'll I'll, I'll leave that rant for another time, perhaps. Yeah. So I think so, Nicholas. You're saying I think people misinterpreted the Samsung commercial. Hold on, let me scroll up. Majority of people keep their phones for a couple of years. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think what Samsung was trying to focus on is for those people who still have an iPhone 6 or something that's a few years old, and they don't always upgrade every year. Um, Now they find themselves with a phone that is either slowed down to keep battery life at an acceptable rate, or they can turn that off and just have their batteries die. Uh, and yes, Apple will replace the battery, but I don't know. I mean, if you're like me, I live an hour and a half, 2 hours away from the nearest Apple store, so it's not always that easy to get your battery replaced. Where Samsung kind of went wrong with that commercial was, they were like, the whole thesis statement of that commercial was Apple screwing you over and telling you you either have to deal with it or upgrade. And then the young woman in the commercial just goes ahead and upgrades. So Samsung was not paying attention to the fact that, like, if she has to go to their store and get a phone, then she's also doing the same thing that she would have to do at the Apple store. And sure, the S9 is cheaper than the iPhone 10, but it's not that much. It's comparably priced to the iPhone 8. So I don't know. I don't know. All right, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Uh, I Kavak 13. If you go with any of the HyperX products, they are more simple but more solid than any of the bells and whistles that you're getting from lower end Turtle Beach or Astro things. So yeah, I would highly recommend any of them. The Cloud 2s are great. I have the Cloud Alphas right now, and I keep them around for just like a headset that I can plug into a controller or whatever. So yes. Could I make a top headphone or headset video? Yeah, I could. I did. I think late 2016 I did, but I haven't. I haven't. I haven't spent a lot of time. Once the channel started to take off in the direction it's been on so far, in the past 6 or 8 months, it's been harder to get to all the gaming headsets that I would want to cover. So it's been hard. Um, JBL is a good audio company though, so I'm fine. Rosie, how you doing, Mr. Maxman? No offense taken. It's totally fine, man. People have typos. It's a thing. The best Bluetooth for doing Uber. Um, so are you thinking like, well, you have an iPhone 10, right? Um, you can use the AirPods. Like the AirPods, don't close off your hearing, and the call quality through the AirPods is really good. So maybe, if you're looking for headphones, I don't know much about like, do they even make like specifically one ear Bluetooth earpiece things anymore? I don't really know anything about them, but I would say try the AirPods because I mean I've done chats with people on this where they're using the AirPod microphone and it sounds really good. Like Drew from Talos of Tech was using the AirPods when we did the podcast together. So, do you need black so that nobody knows that you have them in your ears when you're driving? Is that what it is? Um, yeah. I don't know. You can go to Colorware and get them to get some $250 AirPods that that are black, but I don't know if you want to spend that kind of money. So Uber is a thing that I have not yet experienced. So they have Uber here, but I have a car, so so I drive my car. So I've never really. I think I'm going to VidCon in June, about a month from now. And I'll be in LA, so I might have to Uber something to get to where I want to go. It just, part of it seems kind of weird to me. Like, I don't know. I lived in New York City for a long time, and it was nothing to just jump in the back of a cab. But maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not weird to just jump in somebody's personal car. I don't know. I don't know. So so yeah, I don't know what to suggest for headphones for doing the Uber either. Um, I know people. I have friends who drive a lot and use just a headset. But June is 5 days away. You're right, Mr. Maxman. And I guess I think I'm going out to VidCon on the 20th. So I've never been to Los Angeles. I've been a lot of places, but never been anywhere in California. And now in June, I'm going to be in California, in LA, the LA area, to twice in the same month. I'm going on a vacation with the family too. So VidCon is in Anaheim, which I realize is not LA, but sort of close by. At the Anaheim Convention Center, I think it is. So I'm going out to that so that I could be with other people that make YouTube videos. I don't know. I don't know. But it should be fun. It should be fun. Like, there are a lot of people that I have met online and talked to and spent time with and done things with that I have not met in person. So it'll be fun to meet some people that I know in person. It'll be fun to meet people that I don't know in person. So, Nicholas, is the DAC built into the dongle? Yes, for the most part, it is. Not everything is in there. Like, there's still a DAC inside the phone as well, but once you get to the dongle, um, you still have to do the D to A conversion to get it through like into your regular analog headphones. Well, yeah, that's what I guess will have to happen. I will have to figure out a way to be carted from LAX to Anaheim, which is probably a long way and it's going to cost me a lot of money. But hey, that's the price of doing all these fun things, I guess. I guess. Um, what else we got going on? Anybody else? Anybody else? Let's get some new questions in here. I know I missed some stuff up in the beginning, or up a little while ago, but it's 9:30 now too, and Jason is really sleepy. So I'll take a couple of more questions, and then I might pop out because I need to do some reading and get some sleep. Uh, I stayed up. So last night I stayed up to watch this Netflix series called Safe, starring Michael C. Hall, who was Dexter, and before that he was on 6 Feet Under, and it was like this murder mystery thing. And whenever I get on a murder mystery series like that, I started watching probably about 8 o'clock, and um, I watched the whole series. So I went to bed close to 2, and I'm too old to go to bed that late. Mr. Maxman, hey, good to talk to you as well. Um, Talk to you again soon. I'll be back on the stream. I'll be back with videos, etc. I keep seeing this Unreal thing, and I haven't really done any looking into what it is, but $15 a month sounds good. Dope. I'll look for it. Yeah. Well, wait. So you're not in LA yet. That's right. Um, but yeah, it's 2 a.m. is late. Nicholas, tell me what MQA audio is. I think I've heard of it, but I don't want to make myself sound like an idiot if I'm Bradrick. What are you testing? Thanks, Paula. Really appreciate it. So, we're coming up on the hour mark. That's all I got gas for. Up for the stock market. I see. Okay. I assume you're looking at the stock market in countries other than the United States. Um, Sneed Mobile Tech. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I'm gonna call it here, folks, and be done for this evening. Sorry it was a shorter stream, but I'll be back again. I got some new video stuff that I'm putting together for this weekend, so you'll see more of that. In the meantime, yeah, I gotta go lay down and like get the heating pad on my back and stuff. Mo, thank you very much, sir. Cheers to you in 8K. I appreciate you guys all. And thanks so much for stopping by the stream. I will be back soon, but But until the next time, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech, so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I am out.